Hey everybody, this is going on my dream blog. I said I was starting one. I was just waking up. I was up earlier today and then did some work. And like I said, I did a couple of vlogging things, just kind of talking about different things. And I just laid down to rest. Um, and while I was sleeping, um, man, my dreams were very interesting. I was dreaming about some kind of storyline, and I don't want to lose it. I may have already lost a lot of the details as far as what the story was concerning, but there seemed to be a father and a daughter. It's a father and daughter, and the daughter's gone away to some kind of school, like it's like maybe it's some kind of boarding school or something like that, and it turns out it's a cult, this whole school. And like for some reason, like he's there's only a certain way to communicate. Like this is like I'm trying to figure out how this was like this is like in the radio era, I think, or something about transmitting, messages across the radio. Um, and then there was music in it too. It seemed to have like elements of like Got 7 style type music. You could even say maybe I was seeing an Asian family, but I kind of also saw myself a little bit in the main. Well, the character, I don't know if the main character was the daughter or if it was the father who's trying to figure out where she is. And then like these messages that come through the radio are coming from different sources at first. Like there was different people that were also at this school or at this place, and the it was like there's these people that are operating the radios or something that are getting these different messages coming through, and it's like telling them different things that sound pretty frantic. And now at this point the father's nervous about whether or not his daughter's okay. And then there's a segment where she's talking about these strange people that she's with, and that was pretty freaky. In the vision in my dream, it was a little bit nightmarish, like these haunting um, people, like, but they were like, I don't know if they're dead or alive, but they were definitely this segment of the dream. They were like um, kind of dancing around her, and and they're like kind of bloody and stuff, and she's like not noticing it at first. She's pretty innocent, and they're like trying to hide their blood from her, like different things like she's not quite seeing yet until she does see them for what they are, and she's like rushing to the end of the room, and it's just like freaking out. And then this message gets out, and the father is like listening. I think at this point there's another, I don't know who it was, what it was like investigators or somebody, or he's trying to tell them about these messages that are coming through, and like her, and it seemed like it was like a radio station, which is kind of weird because it seemed like they all knew about these messages somehow. They like some of them are more popular or something like that, and they come out and they hit the radio waves and people cover them or something like that. And he's talking about his daughter, trying to say that she's on there, but he's trying to make her sound like really important, but she could probably be on the last, like, because it seemed like there was a pecking order for these messages. And the father was like, oh yeah, my daughter's on there. And like, oh yeah, where? And he's trying to say like, oh, well, it's back here. But while he's going droning on, they're down there looking at something coming through in real time, which was basically coming away from that horror scene that was happening to her in this place. Um, and then it's the father's reaction to them saying, "Wait a minute, there's a message coming through right now." And then as they start playing the message, it's like there's these flash, like a montage of other people who know the daughter, other people who are wondering how she's been doing. Like, I think there was another school she was at or something, and she went. This was some kind of place that she was going to, some kind of academy. I don't know. And they're all now these guys are playing it across the radio, so everyone's listening to her. Like she's telling her message, like, "Hey guys, this is when I first came here." And it's playing through a montage with the music. And I'm hearing, I don't know, I forget the music I'm hearing, but there's this montage with her talking um, through the radio, and everyone's listening, and they're kind of you see different people and their different thoughts on remembering her and going, "Oh, that's nice. She made it. She's on the she hit the radio. Like we can hear her." But what's about to come across is this terrible message, this terrible story that's going on there. Like some kind of cult has taken over where she's at, and it's turned into like this boxed in nightmare. So there's this feeling of horror that's about to hit everybody because this message is about to get out, that she's about to tell everybody what's really going down. And so I was at the tail end of my dreaming phase when I was coming out of that phase, just kind of feeling like this pain and this loss of like feeling like, oh no, man, not my daughter, or I'm feeling for the main character in the story, which I identify with as a father, and then like this horrible thing that's happening. And what's interesting is what's strange about this dream now that I'm awake is that I am a father, and my daughter is away at school. She's 20 right now, or she's going to turn 20 this year. She's 19, and she's on her own. Like she's always been with us. She was homeschooled. We put her in some regular schooling, but she turned out she was just um, better for the homeschool environment. She could push further ahead. She didn't really like being caught back with what the other kids were doing in class. So she did a lot of her associations through going to like we put her in like dance school, gymnastics, things like that. So a lot of her associations were through that church, family, things like that, but not through the school because she graduated early when she was like 13 because she finished like when she tested. They even did a, state test for her to go through just to make sure like we were on point with all of our. Well, my wife was the main one that homeschooled her, and she was like in the top realm, top level testing. Like any of the kids who have graduated, like she was like in the top, above that kind of thing where she tested. In fact, she tested so high they were like, oh no, there's no way you could have tested that high outside of the school system. They retested her, and yep, they're like, oh my goodness, like what were you studying? And it's like it's just that's how she was. She's driven. She wanted to learn things, and it's funny because she doesn't come across as highly intelligent as far as like she has all these oh duh moments and takes after me in that way a lot. I mean,